weird shadow. We're going to start this all over again. Welcome back to Aaron's 1972 Datsun 510. On this video, I'm going to go ahead and start working on cutting out panels so I can see what I need to replace. I know I need to replace some parts on my inner rocker panel, and that's where I want to start. If I start with the inner rocker panel, I can then replace the floorboards and tie them back into the inner rocker panels, and then replace the outer rocker panel as well. I'm going to leave a little bit of the old rocker panel behind so I can keep the structural rigidity with this piece as well as the remainder of the rocker panel. But we're going to go ahead and get to it, and just going to keep moving forward. If you haven't checked out Soup Classic Motoring, he is another YouTuber that is production value is astronomical. He is doing a stop motion video series on he just finished his Range Rover, and I highly encourage you to go watch those videos. And now he's continuing work on a Lotus. But his videos are definitely encouragement to myself, and I'm sure a lot of other people. And he could definitely use your views. He is amazing at what he does. But let's go ahead and keep working on my little project for now. Thanks for watching, and let's get to it. GoPro pause. GoPro stop. GoPro stop recording. I'm not going to do a lot of talking during this portion of the video. Just know that I used my 4.5-inch angle grinder to cut the rocker panel off of the car, so that way I could assess the damage or what I had left underneath on the inner rocker. So I've got the outer skin of the rocker panel off. As you can see, there's quite a bit of deterioration back here. This has obviously been redone at some point in time. You can see a nice straight line right there. This piece is not looking super great, so this will probably get cut out too right here and then rebuilt. Because this is all just trash, so I'll have to look at that. This whole area. In fact, here's some sealant of some sort. Whoever did that, thank you. I hope you find this car on YouTube and you're like, whew, that didn't age so well. But thanks for keeping it on the road for as long as you did. The front actually looks better than I thought it was going to. So see if I can get you over there. Since you're on a fixed mount up on the roof. But you can see that this actually looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that with a wire wheel, drill out the spot welds, clean that up, and then we'll make sure it's all good to go. Once that's good to go, we'll cut out the front floorboard. But I'm actually quite a bit happier with this than what I thought it was going to be, and actually I'll probably change this first, is what I'll work on. But anyway, let's get back to it. If you haven't checked out some of my other videos, I use a really nice spot weld remover that a viewer has told me about, and I can't say enough positive things about it. It's been fantastic. I just finally did my first bit change on it after removing probably 70 or 80 plus spot welds with it. It does so much better job than the Harbor Freight that I had originally. Also, if you are going to be using a wire wheel with a 4.5-inch angle grinder, make for sure that you are wearing proper safety glasses, as those throw wicked little cables that will smack you in the face and they will hurt a lot. So please remove those. I'm actually much happier with the way that this inner rocker panel looks, as I was able to save a good chunk of it, although this back panel that I'm working on currently just looks like trash, and so whenever I was able to pull it out of there, I was able to assess the damage. Always make sure to sweep up what you're working on. Alright, so you've seen me cut away the outer rocker panel. Let's go ahead and take a look at the damage, maybe a little bit closer than what you can see in the time lapse. Okay, so as you see at the front of the car, we're definitely going to have to rebuild this whole entire section. That actually also goes to here, where you can see that bit of light. Maybe you can't, but there is. You can see a bit of light through here. And there's some surface rust along that seam as well. You'll see that actually the bottom part of this is actually pretty solid, so I'll hit it with a little sander to clear out those divots. I'll have to cut out and rebuild this section. I'll have to cut out and rebuild this whole section as well. But it's actually in better shape than I thought. Alright, so what I was pointing out, let's see if I can edit that back. So you can see that there's just goop that was placed in here to sort of fill up the body panels, as well as a pretty crappy patch panel that went right here and around the corner to try to seal this area up. Didn't do so great of a job. We'll have to rebuild this as well, but I am planning on doing that. You can sort of see right here just the amount of rot. Alright, so in the next part of the video, I'm going to go ahead and recreate and then cut out this piece. As you can see, there's some under right here, so I'll drill out the spot welds here so I can peel that piece sort of away, and then I'm going to actually create a new piece that sort of wraps around right here. First I'll use a template, and then I will go out, and then probably going to either continue to do that down the side here or move on to the front. Once I get that done, probably pushing to the inside wheel well here. So, once again, that's what we're going to start working on, is right here, just this piece. Go up and around. That will tie into this piece right here. So this will have to get also cut, so that way I can probably bring it up to about here. That's where I'm gonna take it. It actually looks like there's a pretty good divide spot right there. So I'll take a look at that, and that's where we're going to look at. Okay. As I clean up the inner fender, I realized that there's actually a lot more trouble here than what I realized originally. I found that by hitting on it with both the screwdriver as well as the chisel hammer that I have. Whenever I knocked on it, I was actually able to punch straight through, so I went back to the driver's side to check that area, and I'll need to go back in and replace a few pieces there. However, the Datsun originally came together and was welded in this spot, so I'm able to actually recreate the same lines with my new panel that I'm creating. It's amazing the amount of rust and dust that this thing creates while I'm working. Always make sure to wear a proper respirator while you're working. These spot welds did not want to come out. This is a, for lack of a better term, like a rock guard or something that was attached to make for sure that give a little extra strength to this area. Ended up fighting with it for a little bit. Once I got it off, I saw the rust underneath and was able to create new panel pieces for it. If you look over to the right hand side, you can see that the sun is starting to go down as I work on the car. Turning from night to day is always beautiful in time lapses. I had to continually check back and forth on the inside because I didn't want to start any fires underneath my dash. I had to put out a couple while I was working on it. Using paper to trace out my templates allows me to then transfer it to the metal that I've got. I'm actually about to run out of this metal. I'm going to have to go find some more so I can continue working on the car. Trying to get natural bends in and out of the metal. Sometimes I use pliers, sometimes I use a 2x4 with a hammer, just any way that I can get it to shape and bend the way that I need it to bend. In this spot, you'll see me using pliers. I want to get that contour just right so that way it fits back in and is the inner piece that I will then place an outer piece over the top of and do some plug welds in order to get them to sit flush as I move forward. This piece that I'm installing right now is actually on the inner fender. I'll actually place the piece above it, and so I'm constantly checking to ensure that I don't have a fire inside the cab of the car. And now that I've got a nice bead run down it, I'll have to grind it down in order to ensure that I have the outer piece well and good. Again, this is all because the old piece was completely trashed. So as always, trace your piece out on your new piece of metal, cut it out with your angle grinder, and then put it into place. I also used my hole punch to pop holes in this piece so that way I could plug weld it onto the new piece, and my Coil fasteners in order to keep it in place while I welded in the first couple pieces. You can see the holes in it there. Doing this again, I probably wouldn't actually put in plug welds. I would just seam weld it right along the inner fender. Always sweep up because it gets dirty inside the garage, and always check your phone because that's what I like to do, right? Because I'm a millennial. Sure, I'm a millennial. Back to it. Gotta let the paint dry is realistically what happened. This video is about to wrap up, but if you've liked what you've seen, go ahead and maybe check out someone called Soup Classic Motoring. He does a fantastic job. His videos are about 30 million times better in production value than mine, and he just finished his Range Rover, and he does work on a Lotus Esprit as well. So go check him out. Again, Soup Classic Motoring. Super great dude, and one of the better YouTubers out there in my opinion. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to clean up your mess whenever you get done with your project at the end of the day, like I'm doing right now. Boogity boogity. If you like what you see, go ahead and click the subscribe button. That subscribe button lets me know that I'm doing good work. Also, don't forget to set up your notifications so that way it'll notify you whenever I post a new video. Over here, you're going to see my newest video. And then finally, over here is what YouTube suggests should be the next video in this series. I've got all my videos set up in different playlists, so you should be able to see and track and follow whichever projects you feel like. Thank you for watching. Get out there and work on your car, and God bless.